Let me just say this. The church, when I say the church, I'm not meaning an actual congregation. I'm meaning the people of God. We have got to get ourselves out of this space of jealousy. And for me, I feel that it's us, like Black people. We have a real issue with jealousy amongst ourselves. It is a real issue. And for it to be people of the church, it's so disappointing. It truly is. A few weeks ago, maybe a week ago now, I re-uploaded a video from Pastor Philip Mitchell. I don't know why I keep wanting to call him Pastor Phillips, but it's Pastor Philip Mitchell from 2819. I uploaded his video onto Instagram, and because I had signed up for Threads, it went onto the Threads page. Now this is, I'm new to Threads. The people on Threads, I guess they're no different than any other social media platform, but that video got a lot of traction. And he was talking about, he was boldly coming against crystals and sage and tarot and horoscopes. So it was mainly the horoscopes that really got people. And so in the caption of the video, when I posted it, I said, "It is a shame that no other pastors are teaching this." Now, of course, my language may have been, to the point where it would have made someone feel like that's the first thing they noticed was no other pastors. Yeah, there are plenty of pastors. Like, he ain't the only one. It was very attitude-ish. And there was one guy that responded, and it was almost like belittling or downplaying Pastor Philip Mitchell, and then coming at me. And I think the part that really bothered me the most was that the repost of that video had nothing to do with coming against other pastors. The reposting of that video was to bring awareness through a pastor who is very well known, who's become extremely popular, the need and the desire of God for that message to be pushed on major platforms, and for more and more Christians, because there's a lot of Christians that still operate through horoscopes and zodiac signs and all of that. The need for that to be really pushed out there is just overwhelming, because so many people are doing it. So rather than those people seeing that video and saying, you're absolutely right, so many other pastors need to be teaching this, but there are some that are. They want to come and post their pastor. My pastor been teaching this. What you talking about? My pastor been teaching this since blah, 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 blah. Okay, but if so many pastors were teaching it, we wouldn't have so many Christians that are still in the dark. We wouldn't have so many Christians that still don't know any better. We wouldn't have so many Christians that still don't know the dangers behind associating with your zodiac sign. Okay? And for those of you who are new here, that is what led me into New Age. Now, I had been looking at my zodiac sign for many, many years, before I went into New Age. But the spiritual climate is different, when I tell you. And it started back in 2018. So although I had been looking at my horoscope, looking at people's signs, comparing whether or not we were compatible in dating, things of that nature, the spiritual climate is totally different. The veil is very thin. So the things that you will be influenced to do that you probably typically might not would have done is totally different. Totally different. Because it was that still voice of the enemy coming into my mind that persuaded me into going into a direction that I thought was okay. And I was bewitched. Okay. And it was because I was like most lukewarm Christians who did not read their Bible, who we've all heard that being a witch is bad and tarot was bad, but we didn't truly know why. We didn't know what would happen if we touched it. Okay? So I can guarantee you there's plenty of Christians that are out there who've already been persuaded into or looking at tarot on YouTube, and they think there's nothing wrong with it because they might not be doing it themselves, but they've opened the spiritual door. Okay, so back to the point of this message is in regard to we have got to get on one accord as a body of Christ. There should not be literally the way the dude came into my comment and was responding and talking about his pastor and how his pastor's been doing this, it was like he was trying to one up Pastor Philip Mitchell, as if it was excuse my language, a peeing contest. I'm not going to say the other word. Like that's not what this is supposed to be about. We're supposed to all be doing this. Not somebody doing it more frequently, louder, whatever the case. We all are supposed to be doing this. Okay? And so, me personally have never heard a pastor who was as loud and as emotionally driven in his message as Pastor Philip Mitchell. Okay? And so, not everybody has to be passionate in that way. Okay? But the message needs to get out. Every pastor should be preaching and teaching on this, and they are not. Okay? And so that was the point. And so my purpose of this message is that as a body of Christ, we need to really do some hard work. As a body, we really need to go before the Lord and fix our heart. Because the fact that none of them could really see that the point of the message was that message needed to be put out, and instead they focused on only the fact that I said that he's the only pastor that's speaking it, or why are there no other pastors speaking this? Clearly, as one person, I don't know every pastor in the world or every pastor in the United States. So you should have been able to take that and receive it as not a literal statement. So, guys, if your pastors are teaching this, that is wonderful. That is wonderful. But what I can tell you is, since I've come out with my story in 2020, there were no pastors teaching this. There weren't, because there were not a lot of people that were making it obvious that they were having some form of lifestyle that was revolved around it. There weren't people that were widely practicing witchcraft. Okay? So the crystals, the sage, all those things was not needed to be discussed. But the moment that it began to become popular, it was as if a lot of pastors were afraid to offend or to put fear in people. And if you watched my last video, that will explain how it is absolutely ridiculous that we put more power in occult practices than we do the power that happens when we open that Bible. Okay, so guys, I'm not going to say before you long. I just wanted to come and give this quick message and to give my observation in regards to that particular video that Pastor Philip Mitchell put out. I pray that if you are in ministry, that you are encouraging your church to do the same. God bless.